Om Shanti. Good morning. I hope I'm audible. So, a hearty welcome to the third session of Vihasa. Today we'll be covering the compassionate module. So, before we start, let's get into a small meditation. Let's prepare ourselves for today's session. So, I will request everyone to please keep away all that is with you. Maybe your notebook, pen, your mobile phone, maybe you can keep it away. And just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. As you breathe in compassion, breathe in positivity. And as you breathe out, let go any anxiety, any fear. Talk to your mind that, dear mind, let me get ready myself. Let me prepare myself for the next 2.5 hours to explore deep into the value of compassion. Feel relaxed. And yes, there we go. So, good morning, friends. Welcome once again to this session of compassion. Let me quickly share my screen. So, as you all know that we have been doing this Vihasa workshop since maybe last 6 months. We started with the module of positivity, going on to resilience, valuing self, spirituality, valuables through values, peace, and now we are covering the compassion module. So today is the third part. So if you all recollect, all those who had attended the earlier part, we had in the first part we explored what is compassion in action. We understood the different values associated with the word compassion with the Scrabble game. Then we understood what is compassionate sound, how to release it. We did meditation on compassion. We exchanged compassionate gifts, and we also had a yes no game. In the part 2, we explored what is compassionate listening, because listening is another element very closely related to compassion. We understood about anger, because anger is something which deprives us from compassion. Then we practiced how to breathe out anger by beautiful meditation, and then we prepared a positive plan for ourselves. So there are more other subtle aspects of the uh, virtue of compassion which we will be exploring again today. So before we start, let me quickly introduce myself and our co-facilitators. So myself, I'm BK Praful. By profession, I'm a chartered accountant and associated with Brahma Kumaris since last 18 years. And values is something very close to my heart, as I always say. Even in the values, compassion is something which really comes from within. And all those who have attended the previous two sessions, you all might have realized that it's a very deep rooted value. And the more we practice it, the more deep aspects of it we explore. So yes, I'm looking forward for the next 2.5 hours to be with you all and explore this value. So with this, let me hand over to Sister Anu from Vancouver to introduce yourself, followed by Dr. Manoj. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here in the journey of deeply going within further in the exploration of compassion, finding those values within us and being motivated to bring it out in action. every session of this values workshop, really, I gain a lot and I learn a lot from all of your sharings. So, really happy, and I also looking forward for our further exploration on compassion. I live in Vancouver. I am a pharmaceutical scientist and I do research on medicine discovery. And I am with Brahma Kumaris since about 10 years, practicing meditation. And this values program is definitely the practical side of that meditation, the benefits that I can bring to my life. So, very happy to be a part of this program. And yes, I'm ready to spend the next 2.5 hours with you all. Now I pass it on to our co-facilitator Manoj brother.
Om Shanti. Good morning to all of you. Thank you, Sister Anu and Praful brother. So I'm sure we all know each other, but since it's a formal introduction for people who are new, I specialize in kidney problems in children. I
Yeah, I think Dr.
Mm.
Manoj, we are not able to listen you very clearly.
I'm associated with Brahma Kumaris since almost 12 years. I'm sure you're able to hear me. Six.
Yeah, now better.
If you all can just tell me yes. Okay. So I don't know. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Fine. Yeah, probably the connection was unstable. Yeah, so as Praful Bhai
Not
was
right.
telling that compassion, I specialize, as I said, in kidney problems in children. So I see life and death very closely.
Brother, maybe you can switch off your
Yeah.
video. We want to hear
So
you.
if I can just switch off my video, that will be much more
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
I feel. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, sometimes I feel doctors are compassionate, but when we see life and death from such a distance, we feel very hard and we feel that there is no sympathy inside. But as I said, I feel compassion is a quality which is intrinsic to all of us. And I realized that when I joined Brahma Kumaris, because I felt it is something nothing to do with profession, nothing to do with your caste, creed, and color. It is a value inside the soul. It's a virtue actually. It's something intrinsic to the soul. And with this module which we do, I realize that there's a lot to learn about compassion. And every time we do it with different people. So there we are, and try to explore this more in depth today to part 3. And before I forget, Dr. Ashok Mehta is also there with us. He is one of the co-founder of this, Getting It to India. He's the national coordinator for the Brahma Kumaris, sorry, for the Values in Healthcare program here. And I would like to quickly ask him to give us a minute of blessings and introduction himself. Over to Dr. Ashok Mehta.
You have to unmute, Dr. Mehta. Not yet. Not yet. You're not able to unmute yourself, Praful Bhai. What it would be?
Yeah, let me try from here if I can. Uh,
I did
Yeah,
it now.
Yeah.
yeah, now it's okay. Now it's okay. Om Shanti and good morning to all of you. It's a pleasure to be spending a couple of hours every weekend on a Saturday with this beautiful group uh, who's been conducting the values workshop. I'm Ashok Mehta. I'm a surgeon and I'm a cancer surgeon. I live in Mumbai. Uh, I've been in practice for more than 55 years now. Um, I was involved. I started working with Brahma Kumaris 1988. Um, I happen to be a surgeon to one of the most important persons in the what we call Yagya. And that's how I got involved. Then I was involved with uh, starting of the Global Hospital and Research Center, first in Mount Abu and then in Mumbai in 2002. So um, I was also involved with the Vyasa right from its inception in 2005 in UK, and then we started in India in 2005 itself. And 2006 we had a formal launching by uh, Honorable President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam in Mount Abu. Vyasa is a very interesting program, and I'm sure that you're going to experience in the next 2 hours. It brings back you to the values when you started, if you're a medical student or you were a medical student at that point of time. But even in any profession, values are equally important. And I think this is the essence of this program, that it prevents your burnout. It helps you re-look at your own life and the purpose of life, and bring you back to those ideal situations as you would like to live your life. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to spending a few minutes with you. Thank you. And all the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. So now I hope I'm clear and audible. I'll just keep my video off so that it doesn't disturb the sound. So let's move on to the activities for today. I'll share my screen. A bit of warming up for all of us as usual. As you can see in front of you, you have 3 images. The first image is a boy who's hurt on his knee, very sad, in pain. The second one is a lady who's sad and depressed, maybe on the verge of just breaking out crying. And on the third image, a totally different, none of them is sad nor wounded, but they are just doing something. And I'm sure you know what they are doing. They are collecting the litter in the park, the plastic, the waste, and trying to recycle maybe. So all these 3 are activities, different activities. The first 2 are a bit similar, the third is different. So what values of compassion would you want to express for the following scenarios? So now we are almost 20, 25 people. I want you all to just select one of them so that it will be easy for us to take sharings from all of you all. And what is the value which is shown? It is compassion towards the small kid, compassion towards the lady who's in grief, excuse me, and compassion towards Mother Earth, towards nature. So what is that value of compassion which is coming out in each of these images? So each image you can have maybe 2 values, but I think you just choose one of them. I'll give you just half to 1 minute with silence, and then we'll take sharings. So I'll just repeat myself, just one image you have to select and write a couple of values related to compassion. So there you are, now we're done. So if you want to raise your hands, or I could just start speaking out your names. So let me start with Abhishek. You want to share? Okay, Deepika or Deepa. What you would want to share is just any one image and a couple of values related to that. Okay, you're a bit, I don't know, are you all able to hear me, or I'm just speaking to the screen in front of me? I'm sure you're able to hear me.
Yes, we can hear.
Sophie, thank you, sister. Sophie, you want to share? I think we'll just do the settings.
Actually, I think participants were not allowed to unmute. Now you all can unmute yourself.
No, I had done the setting. It was already there on. Okay.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, Sophie, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I choose, who pick up the rubbish on the field. I don't know how can I say that. And of course, this is a cooperation and respect to the earth and respect to the nature and responsibility and
Okay.
love.
Love. Okay. So love, responsibility, respect. Thank you so much. We go on to
Cooperation, yeah.
cooperation. Yeah, I forgot cooperation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we move on to Mahesh now, who's raised the hand, followed by Abhishek.
Yeah, yeah, I will go with the first picture of the child who has got hurt. So my value would be kindness. Yeah, because Bhagwan बच्चों का रूप होते हैं, so I will take care of the boy who is hurt.
Okay. Caring. Fine. That's it. Thank you, Mahesh. I'll just be a bit quick because we are running short of time. Rita. Sorry, I think I told first Abhishek. Abhishek, you can go ahead. After that, Rita. Yeah.
Om Shanti Bhai.
Yeah. Om Shanti.
Thank you to give me chance. I will go with a lady who is sad in sad mode. Actually, nowadays this is the day of Navratri and women's empowerment. I can say soul empowerment, mainly for women's. Dedicated this festival. I would like to say all ladies, they are mother and mother for this world. Also they are carrying their houses and they are carrying also society. So don't be upset. Be more courageous and powerful to and make it stronger to yourself to face this type of problem. And it will come and go. But do meditation and make powerful yourself by Godfather.
Okay, good. Thank you. So strength, powerful, courage, be strong. Okay, we move on to, as I mentioned, I'm sorry, I'm just forgetting people because there are so many hands. Rita, followed by Aitika Chaudhary. So Rita, you can go ahead.
Om Shanti. I totally agree with what everyone has said. And regarding the lady who's a little down, what I would feel is a little empathy is what she would want, and some listening, someone who can empathetically listen to her.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aitika, yeah. Sorry, is it Latika or it's Latika? Yeah.
Yes, good morning to all of you. I'd like to share the thought about the people collect the garbage. They shows cleanliness. They show cleanliness, discipline, and cooperation about nature. About nature, foresightness is there, and love about nature. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Foresightedness, love, Praful Bhai, or whoever is writing, love and foresightedness. We move on to other people. For the ones who don't want to share through the audio, you all can just type it. We have a few new entrants. Dr. Jyoti Sehgal, can you share? And followed by Deepika. Yeah, go ahead, Jyoti.
Good morning. I'm from Gurgaon and I'm just logged in for the first time. Got the link about 5 minutes ago. So I'm not aware as to what exactly want. First time I'm attending this. But looking at the three pictures, I'd like to speak for the lady who was shown sad and in remorse. And do you want what I should do? That is what is the question.
Yeah, so what value do you want? I'm sure you are compassionate towards that soul, that's fine. But what value do you want to express towards her? As people have written, as you can see in front of you, you want to add anything to them in the middle column? Empowerment.
So empowerment, courageous, powerful, strong, empathy.
Any other thing you want to add to that?
Probably I like to first detach myself from her problem, not get involved, and then give her or show a solution or a way to the problem which she is having.
Great. So it is getting detached, and then only you can show a person the solution. And so seeking solutions in a detached way. Thank you, Hema and Mansi. I think we'll take the last two sharings. Hema followed by Mansi.
Hello, Namaste. I am Gayatri.
Okay, go ahead, Gayatri.
I feel in the littering in the nature, I want to give positive sakash to the earth.
Positive Sakash. Okay, good. So people who don't understand Sakash, you want to clarify what Sakash is, Gayatri?
That is the Panjabhut. We can give positive energy. That only,
Okay.
meaning.
So you're giving some positive energy, some positive vibration. So that is in Hindi, we call it Sakash. Great. Thank you. And as I mentioned, Hema and Mansi, I'm just trying to choose new people who I find are new to the session. Okay. And anyone else, last one sharing, if you want to share, you have time. And otherwise, you can just put it on the chat box. We'll do it later. So
I'm Dr. Vasant Sharma.
Okay, go ahead, Vasant.
So,
Yeah.
So I'm regarding that lady who is depressed and sad. I want to say understanding and sympathy.
Understanding and sympathy.
For the lady who is hurt.
Yes. Thank you. In the middle column, you can write below empathy if you want. Yeah.
So okay, Mansi says in the chat box for the lady in sad lady, love, listening, faith, and hope. For the lady, sad lady. And then Deepa is writing, just offer her fresh flowers to cheer her up. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Manoj Bhai. I took the space.
Okay, so thank you all of you all for your sharing.
Lady, no, sir. Lady. Hello.
Yeah, Gayatri, just let me complete my sentence. You've already shared.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you all of you all for your sharings. And let us move on to the introduction part. I think Anu sister is doing that. Over to Sister Anu. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj brother. And yes, I'll be very quick on this as but few new people are there. So this is the introduction about the program, that's Values in Healthcare, a spiritual approach. It's a modular program. It looks like this with this binder, all the exercises that was developed towards this program can bring lots of benefit. That personal and team development program it is. So as Dr. Ashok Mehta was mentioning, this is for the well-being for all. It was actually developed for healthcare practitioners, keeping them in mind to reduce the burnout, that being in that negative environment when healthcare practitioners forget what they're doing, in the sense, not forget, but that high moral that comes from what they're giving, that life, that joy, that assurance that they're providing to the society. When that becomes overwhelming, when stress becomes real, when the negative surrounding affects them, when that was observed to help healthcare practitioners to back to their self-esteem, their reviving their moral again back, that why this profession they chose. This program was developed, but however, the values-based empowerment program, where as the values that we seek from healthcare practitioners, from doctors, nurses, in the healing, that's what comes from within them. So what we hold within, we can share. So it is for every individual, every professional. When we bring these inner values into focus, then life becomes calm, easy. So towards that, this program was developed by Janki Foundation. This group of healthcare practitioners, all, as you can see, therapists, psychiatrists, meditators, they came together to develop this program, where Dadi Janki, our late administrator head of Brahma Kumaris, was the inspiration behind this. She felt that when during her visit to the hospital in London, and she wanted to bring that spark, that joy of of the profession that they're doing. The profession itself is expression of values. So she wanted to bring back that understanding through these exercises, and that should be very much experiential. So this program, as they developed, they went through these three. They focused on, like, they built on this program on these three principles. First one is physician heal thyself. This program should bring healing, that total taken care of feeling in the high spirit. So that they do through this principle two, key principle two, that says learning through direct experience, because it's values that can only be owned by experience, not by teaching. And all these programs that were developed are done through appreciative inquiry, that you can reflect, see through within you, and you are able to share with each other with total appreciative heart for each other. And that's how we experience, we share, and we learn. That is where comes that key principle three, that whatever we learn here, we can take it to work and personal life. And they developed this whole book using, of course, this is a facilitated experiential learning, so no teachings, but we just facilitate through your own self-reflection, through all these exercises, that you discover yourself and your values within. So from this proverb, that I hear something, I forget, I see something, I remember, and I do something, then I understand. So as you will go through those exercises and we get involved in seeing our own values in action in our own life, we start to understand the value of those values in actions. And that's where the motivation comes to take it to our life. So silent self-reflections and sharing with each other in the supportive environment. And it is done by trained facilitators, and all over the world it is being used, this program. So there are more than 50 countries or even more. And all these exercises in this book is uses all these 7 spiritual tools. They enable us to experience those values. So meditation is a silent, deep self-reflection of seeing our own inner values. That's what we see, the qualities within the soul. And then comes the visualization, where as we recognize, as we dream or create goals, recognize what is right, what is a value, then we give that picture. As you visualize, you know, find your path or get the direction to get there, to achieve. So these exercises will enable us to use this visualization and the experience of using visualization, how we see the values in our life. Reflecting through my own life's scenarios, activities, and I discover values, and I discover the negative side as well. So when in reflection we can find out then the change we can bring in. So that's the reflection tool. Appreciation, we just talked, without any judgment for each other. And listening is one of the spiritual tool we have been using for compassion, that totally non-judgmental, just totally being there for the other person, what he's saying. So we'll also use this tool in the exercises. And then creativity and playfulness, that is that, as child, I always remember that there is no hesitation, there is nothing at all that can bother you. We run in the wind, in the storm, that kind of spontaneity and that kind of freeness that comes from our activity of our right brain, and the creativity side that we need to re-invoke as we grow up and we go more logical to the left brain activity. So this creativity and playfulness in the exercises also make us experience our values in many different ways. And with all this, the 8 modules that were written were this: values, peace, positivity, compassion, cooperation, valuing the self, spirituality in healthcare, and resilience. We have done most of it. We are doing compassion and we'll be going to cooperation. So with these modules, we deeply explore into each of these values. So this is about the values in healthcare, a spiritual approach. And now we'll move forward to our first exercise. So I'll pass it on to Manoj brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Anu, for that brief introduction. So let's move on to action of today, which is the first exercise. As you can see, it is a beautiful, a strong, mighty tree in front of you. So what we'll be doing in this activity, I'll tell you shortly. But when you look at this beautiful tree in front of you, what are the values? That's fine. It has emerged in front of you. I told you a few values. You're also thinking. But if you can think of the utilities of a tree. So we'll just take first 5 minutes before going on into a meditative mode. Try to reflect on what are the utilities of a tree. In what way does the tree give you so many things? So I would want you all to be interactive. I'll just stop sharing. I'll go on the gallery view so you all can start sharing with me. And I would request people who have already shared to give a chance to others also to share. So that people, all of you all can just interact. And if you're feeling shy to speak, you can just type in the chat. So I'll be looking at the answers in the chat. So what I want you all to tell me is, what are the benefits or advantages or utilities of a big tree? Starting from the roots and going up to the last flower or branch. So if you can start mentioning a few. Anyone from the wants to raise hand and say? Okay, I should again start calling out names. So Deepika and Deepa, you want to say something about a utility of a tree? Just one or two words. Okay.
Yeah, hi Manoj.
Yeah.
Good morning. Om Shanti. Deepa here.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
When I saw this pic, I just remembered a story which I used to read it for my children. That's called The Giving Tree. I'm not too sure if you all know about that story about Giving Tree.
We know the story, but we just want a few utilities of the tree. Yeah.
Okay. So we get, of course, we get fruits and we get a lot of shade, oxygen.
Oxygen. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
And
so you have shared three.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted other people also to share. So because there may be a lot of repetitions. Thank you. Sujata is writing shed. I probably think it is shade, as Deepa has already mentioned. Anyone else, Hansraj or Pandurang, wants to share? What does a tree give us? You'll be meditating on that soon. So you might as well know, what does a tree do? Okay. You can start writing in the chat box and be a bit quick. Strength, yes. Jyoti, you can speak out again. Shaila is saying shelter.
The tree, if I look at tree, I see the old leaf falling off. So it tells me that everybody plays a role. After that, we have to shed off and get into the ground or go into the cycle of life.
Good. So it has to be also grounded, and it is like the process of shedding of the leaves. So be detached from what you are doing, be grounded and down to earth. Then there are many other answers coming. I'm happy now. Good. Power to tolerate. You know, in the Brahma Kumaris Rajyoga book, the basic foundation course, we have the powers, 8 powers, and it's also Dashera tomorrow, Navratri going on. So a child hits a stone, but the fruit, but the tree gives you fruit in return. It doesn't give you anything else. Not hatred again. Tolerate, again, someone has mentioned stability. Then it gives you a cool, calm, and soothing effect through all those beautiful leaves which are there. The foliage, it gives you shade. Yes, it gives you life through fruits and the seeds which are there in the fruit. So fruit is quite tasty to eat, but also the small seeds in that are basically the seeds of life. Again, a small seed can again give rise to another big tree. Good. Peace. Yes, it's also very peaceful. when you sit in the shade of a tree. It gives us the value of tolerance, good memories of childhood when we get into that for fruits or playing. So we already said that. Someone is saying unconditional love. Yeah. So this is like rather, I must say, you're hitting it, but on the contrary, it's giving you back something. So it's really much more than unconditional love. Good. Tree gives you life, food, and expect anything in return. Okay. So you can really, it's like a mother, we can say. It can give you everything, and it really tolerates you whatever you do. So right from the roots and going up to the branch, the last part, the top part of the tree, it's immense values, medicinal values as well, many things. So with all these, now try to take this as a corollary, that can I be a tree? So can I document all these values in my life? Can I tolerate people? Can I be grounded? Can I be unconditionally loving? Can I give life to other people? Can I also tolerate other people as they are? They give me something, they say something bad to me, but can I return back in a good way? And the spirit, some this last one I'll take. Someone is saying spirit of companionship. So good, you all have shared, all of you. Thank you so much. So let us move on to a small meditative exercise for the next couple of maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Anu sister, you can just tell me, should I adjust the volume or it's too loud? Anyone? Praful?
Can't hear yet. You haven't shared.
Okay, I'll just share the screen also. I'm sure now it's audible.
Yes.
Is it loud enough or quite loud? Is it okay?
It's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So sit back, relax, take a deep breath in and out.
You may reduce it little. I think the flute is gone too
Okay,
loud.
okay, okay. So visualize that you are maybe sitting in the shade of the tree, beautiful tree of the tree, and you sitting beneath the tree. Now focus your attention on your breathing. See how your breathing is slow and natural. So effortlessly the breath comes in and goes out. And you are enjoying the peaceful atmosphere, the birds chirping, the rustling of the leaves. You're enjoying all this. Now gradually create this thought that I am a tree myself. And the moment you create this thought, you visualize that you are standing straight with a cord in the center of your head, which is holding your head straight up, and your spine also is very nice and straight. So the posture of the tree, which is today for the next 5 to 10 minutes, that's me. My spine is nice and straight. And now look at your feet. Visualize from the soles of my feet, the roots are spreading deep into the earth. and I feel my feet firmly grounded to the earth, which makes me feel my connection to the earth. The grounding feeling makes me feel so humble, full of humility. I look at my foliage, I look at the tree, all the branches, all the leaves and the fruits, the fully laden tree. But I am not full of myself. That means I am this humble entity. I see that I am providing protection to the chirping birds who have made their nests in the branches. I love the chirping. I can see the small squirrels up and down on the branches, enjoying. And I can also see my fruits which are sparkling. What a beautiful feeling that I can provide sweetness to someone through the fruit. Now I look at my each and every branch which is sprouting out so strong and mighty, but still firmly grounded to the trunk, and the trunk connected to the Mother Earth. I now look at the leaves which absorb the warmth of the sun, take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen to all the beings on earth. In a selfless way, taking in negativity but giving out positivity. I visualize that. It gives such a vitality to the entire world. All these beautiful qualities, I feel so grateful to the Supreme Being to make me this tree. The tree of my life. My life is so fulfilling, forgiving, just giving and giving to the people, to the nature around. And at any point of time, if you feel you have a few negative feelings inside, like a little bit of anger, frustration, irritation, a little bit of anxiety, some amount of resentment and jealousy towards anyone, remind yourself, I am this strong, mighty tree. And all these negative feelings slip down from the body, that is the trunk of the tree, into the ground. And what does Mother Earth do? It recycles all these negative feelings as it does in the Mother Nature, like compost. So it becomes the beautiful mineral or ore inside and converts it into a positive. And tell yourself, I am this strong and stable entity where nothing negative can affect me. And I will just transform whatever negative from outside into this beautiful positive that I am. And I radiate positivity into the atmosphere around me. With this beautiful feeling of being like a tree, I now come back into the consciousness of being this beautiful soul, radiating in my behavior all the values which we have learned so far. Take a deep breath, open your eyes, and come back. So good. Thank you, all of you all. I'm sure you have visualized that you were this big, mighty tree, strength, power, courage, power to tolerate all the things which you shared. We move on to the next activity by Praful. Thank you.
Om Shanti. I hope I'm audible. Thanks, Dr. Manoj, for that beautiful meditation exercises. So now let's go ahead to another aspect of dealing with compassion. And this is something called as mistakes. Mistakes, as we all know, that we never intend to do any mistake, or mistake is something which no one of us like to do, but it invariably happens. And many times it so happens that the feelings associated with the mistakes which we do is not that great. So now with this exercise and the following couple of exercises, we will explore this, because somewhere most of us end up getting into a guilt mode that, why did this mistake happen from me? There are different ways to deal with the responses of mistakes. So the idea behind doing this exercise is firstly to identify what are the feelings associated with the mistakes, because once we understand those feelings, it will be possible for us to manage those feelings into a more positive or constructive way. And again, there are different ways or means you can deal with those feelings. Either someone blame on some the reason for the mistake to others, maybe on the situation, or maybe to the system, or maybe to another person. And some people blame themselves, or maybe feel that they are responsible for the mistake. And some of us even sometimes hang on to that guilt feeling for a long period of time. It could be also mistakes from others, but again, how are we approaching their mistakes? Are we into the similar mode as we would have committed mistakes ourselves, or are we again with the feeling of hatred or anger with the others? So there are different aspects associated to this mistake, and somewhere I think it is very much connected with the term compassion, because by default we would like to care for others, we would like to care for ourselves. But when the mistake element comes into the way, probably it becomes a little challenging. So let me share my screen, and let us go on to exercise, short exercise. So I would request everyone to uh, remove your diary and pen. And there are a couple of reflection exercise which I would like you all to go into. One second. Okay, so first thing, this exercise would have 3 parts. So first part, I would request you all to recall a mistake which you all have made. It could be any mistake, and think of the circumstances under which you had committed that mistake, and then identify who or what was to blame. Hmm? It could be even you who has committed the mistake. So just get into that reflective mode and identify a mistake which you have committed in the past. I'll give you all a couple of minutes to reflect, and let's move on from there. Again, as you recall your mistake, just visualize those scenes, the circumstances under which you made that mistake, and what were the feelings that you had towards that mistake. Just write those feelings. You can just mention a couple of words on your notebook. Which feelings do you associate with the mistake? So you can mention in 2 parts. Firstly, the feelings which you went through at the time you committed the mistake or you got to know about it. And second is, how are you feeling right now as you're recalling that incident, that moment? Okay, so I believe all of you all have written that, identified that mistake. Again, and it may not happen that we don't commit mistakes. Each one of us might have done that at any point of time. It could be in the childhood, when you were going to school, college, anytime, maybe even in the recent past. It could be as small as, forgetting something, whatever it could be. Just identify one mistake, because we are doing this demonstration and exercise so that we can replay or redo it for any other mistakes which may come across. Okay, I believe all of you all have written. Let's move on to the second part of the exercise. And the second part of the exercise is letting mistakes go. So again, write in your notebook these 2 questions, the answer to this. How long have you held on to these feelings towards others or towards yourself? The feelings which you just wrote on your notebook. So was it that you held on for that feelings for 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, or probably even till now? So just write that on your book. And the second question is, what are the reasons you have for holding on to them? Okay, if you're at all holding, then what are the reasons? What is stopping you from letting them go? So I'll pause for 3 minutes reflect deep and then write, because this is the chance where we can really go within the self and analyze that situation. So I'll pause for 3 minutes and please note your responses. Okay, I believe you all might have responded to these two questions. Now let us move on to the third part. And before really going into action, I would request you all to listen for a minute what exactly needs to be done. Because again, part C, preferred solution is an important aspect of this exercise. So on your own, first reflect on how you would have preferred the situation to have been. Okay, whatever situation you all have just thought of for the purpose of this exercise, what was the preferred situation? You have several options, which could include a change in the circumstances. However, try and think of the situation with the same circumstances. Do not change the circumstances. But what can change, what can be different is the attitude. It could be your attitude or anyone else's attitude. Preferred everyone to have believed for that specific event. Try not to have any negatives in your preferred scenes. Okay. Uh, Try to think in a positive direction. So yeah, now you can just think, reflect for a couple of minutes, and then mention on your page what would have been the preferred situation. Okay, I believe all might have written. Just wait for 10 seconds and then we can start. Okay, great. So I believe all might have written. So now we would be dividing you into different breakout rooms, and I would request you all to discuss two things into the breakout room. Again, each participant has to share, because again, while sharing, we'll learn more. We'll learn from others as well, and that is the reason we are splitting you all. So the first thing which we want you all to share in the breakout room is, what are the feelings? Recognize the feelings associated with the past mistakes and the reasons for holding on to them. The one which you answered as part A of this exercise. And second thing which we want you all to discuss is, what would have been the preferred, alternative way or constructive, positive, alternative ways of behaving as a means of releasing painful memories. Okay. So what are those constructive ways which you would have dealt with that situation, so that you could have undone that holding on to such long time? So these questions, I hope everyone is clear what to discuss. If you all have any questions, you all can let me know. So we'll be breaking you all for 15 minutes. Each group may have 4 to 5 members. So each one take time, maybe 2-3 minutes to share. And again, while sharing, do not share the situation in detail. What went wrong and how did you commit mistake? How did you realize? I would request you all to focus on the two questions which I just mentioned: the feelings associated with the mistakes and the alternative outcomes. So Sister Anu will shortly form the groups, and once she's done, she can announce and we can break out into smaller groups.
Yes, I have created groups. I'll just read out the names. Just hear it out once quickly. So,
Sure.
appreciative angels, Deepa, Mansi, user Krishna Lal Rungta, beautiful butterflies, Ashok Mehta, Latika, Vijay, compassionate carers, Abhishek, Dr. Jyoti, Swati, and Tejaswini. Fragrant flowers, Deepika, Dr. Sushma, Santosh, and Vinaya. Happy hearts, Abhishek, I think it's repeat. Gayatri, Sai, and Sophie. Happy hearts, Gayatri, Sai, Sophie, and Abhishek. Ruhani roses, Ashwani, Pravin, Rita, and Sujata. Faithful friends, Anil, Dr. Basant, Shaila, and Shashikant. Yeah, that are the rooms. So don't worry, you can see the room names on the top of your group, and yeah, enjoy your discussion.
Sure. So let's meet in 15 minutes. In case if you all need help, just click the help button and we'll be there for you. Have a nice discussion and let's meet in 15 minutes. Thank you.
You are deeply grounded, and in a difficult situation, you are totally detached. Practice this detachment. While doing so, check that your breathing is calm, relaxed, and along with being grounded, you are totally detached from the situation. And if you remember, we had practiced the detachment exercise before as well once. After being detached, I become an observer, detached from the situation and observe it from a distance. Now, with this detached state of mind, visualize that you are pulling down light from the Supreme Being through the crown of your head. If you know that on the top of your head there is this beautiful energy chakra called Sahasrara chakra, so visualize that you're pulling down the divine light from the Supreme Being through this chakra, and the light enters through the head, goes to your heart area, and fully fills yourself with this beautiful golden colored warm energy. This is the protection and warmth from the Supreme Being, which forms a protective aura around my physical body, protecting me from the negative influences around. So now visualize yourself in this golden aura which is surrounding you, and you're filled with this protection from God. And now, after having filled myself and protected myself, visualize the light expanding gradually to form a large and large sphere which is just progressing out and out to the vicinity around you. And this energy now moves on to the other beings, the other souls around, and also gives energy to the difficult situation in which you and the other beings are. So it's God's power and energy first protecting me and then moving on from me to protect everyone else and the situation. And see yourself being constantly replenished from this fear from God. Why? Because you are constantly connected to the source. That source of light, protective energy is constantly filling you up. And once you feel protected and empowered, you can then protect and empower others around you. What a beautiful feeling. Visualize I am protected through the Supreme Being's energy, and in turn protecting others around me. But remember one important thing, it is not I who am protecting. It is God's power and energy. It It is not me, it is only He, the Supreme Being, who is the ultimate protection for all of us. I may be the mediator, the instrument for Him to use me, but it's not me. The Supreme Being uses me, protects me, and in turn protects the others as well. So practicing this detachment on a deeper level will help me to get rid of body consciousness and any ego associated with that. So it's totally the Supreme Divine Being protecting me and everyone else around me. So with this beautiful thought, I now come back into the awareness of the room, being fully protected and empowered to deal with difficult situations in life. Okay, so welcome back. So I'm sure we are all protected and we are also egoless now. It's not we doing the things, He's getting it done through us. So I would want, we have around 5 to 10 minutes for sharing. So I think people are already eager to share. Tejaswini, you can go ahead and share. You raised your hand. Yeah, go ahead. Uh, Probably I'll just unmute you all just a moment. Yeah, I think now you can unmute Tejaswini. Yeah. Tejaswini, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was I for earlier thing actually. Now I have nothing to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
Thank you. No
Thank you
problem.
so
That's
much.
okay.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see some other raised hands. Vijayji, I'll come to you later because we have to take sharings from other people as well. So as I said, I would encourage other people also to raise your hands. I don't know why Tejaswini was again raised. No worries. Other people, I know you all have had a beautiful experience of being protected from the divine, but if you all want to share something, and please those people who haven't shared since the start of the session. Okay, looks like you're very silent. Are you feeling protected so much that you don't want to speak? Or, okay, anyone? Praful Bhai wants to share?
No, actually, I was just mentioning that generally it is very difficult to come into
After meditation,
after
yes.
meditation, and especially when
Yeah,
it's
I know.
such beautiful meditation. So I think
Yeah,
I
I know.
myself enjoyed it a lot, and that
Okay.
protection from the Supreme gives a sense of canopy, a sense of
Hmm.
trust that somebody is there to hold my hand, just like a child has for his mother whenever he goes out, in the market. He might not know the address of the home, but the very thought that his hand is being held by his mother
Hmm.
let him feels protected. So that kind of feeling I was getting, when the
Good.
protection is from the Supreme. So that was sharing from me. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Thank you. And Vijay Bhai, sorry, I feel very guilty when I can't ask someone to share. So I've asked you to unmute yourself and you can share the last brief comment.
Okay, brother Manoj Bhai ji, wonderful meditation session of protection. बाबा की छत्र छाया माया आ नहीं सकती. और आपके प्रोटेक्शन मेडिटेशन से पहले दीदी सिस्टर अन्नू जी ने भी 2 मेडिटेशन कराई थी और बीच में एक्सरसाइज जो हुई हैं जो प्रफुल्ल भाई जी ने कराई हैं. तो जब मैं हाथ खड़ा करता हूं और मेरे हाथ से प्रफुल्ल भाई जी नहीं पूछते तो मेरा कंपैशन बढ़ जाता है प्रफुल्ल भाई जी के लिए कि प्रफुल्ल भाई जी कल्याणकारी हैं हमारे लिए कि हमको बहुत ही सहन करने की शक्ति देते हैं. तो थैंक यू प्रफुल्ल भाई फॉर नॉट आस्किंग मी. एंड मनोज भाई जी, I will share my feelings of your protection and meditation exercise of Didi Anu Didi ji. You see, when we were doing the exercise, first page was anger, hatred or guilt, whatever we had feelings at the time of mistake we did. And second was the compassion. And third was the happiness. Now I find when we were doing this meditation, the feeling of satisfaction came. It means when you are satisfied, the feeling of compassion and happiness is already internally merged in that satisfaction. So if we go reverse, if we are satisfied, we are happy, compassion we are, and mistakes will not be happening. This is, I find, the reverse will be possible. So the ultimate, we should always remain satisfied in life, because earlier satisfaction was not dealt when we were young with the ambition, but now we have a Baba Gyan. Satisfaction gives you happiness, satisfaction gives you compassion, satisfaction protects you from mistakes. So the learning of today for me is, whatever happens is real kalyankari in life. So thank you so much, Manoj Bhai ji, because we have a sanskar, you will ask me to speak. I have a sanskar with Praful Bhai, he will ask me to increase compassion. And I have a sanskar with Anu Didi ji, that I get experience of all these feelings. Thank you so much. You are great. We are having a wonderful time. And I really wish all the happy Navratri celebrations and the Dussehra celebration to all my dear brothers and sisters. Baba bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vijay Bhai. Sushma wants to speak a few words, and then followed by Sai Bhai and Nilay, because you all haven't spoken. So Sushma, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Manoj. It's a really wonderful experience, meditation for me. And as like Brother Praful mentioned, that with the feeling of this protection, of the light, I felt really secured that someone is there to understand me, to protect me, and I should not beg others for the love and for the that compassion or any help kind of that. Rather, I must raise my hand to feel compassionate for others. Those negative for me also. And now I feel totally harmonious within me and around me. That's okay.
Thank you. Sai wants to say something, say a word. Sai is also one of our facilitators doing it at Mukund Nagar. Yeah, go ahead, Sai Bhai. Yeah.
Thank you, Abhishek. It was an amazing experience. One of my favorite topics from Vyasa, compassion. So it's really amazing experience. The last one is really good, like, the protection or feeling safe. You are protected in the golden ball. So this is really amazing experience of the meditation. I have one question, if at all you don't mind, Manoj Bhai.
Yeah, we are actually not supposed to
Not,
answer
yeah. So,
questions, but we can just listen to your
Let it go now in the flow. Yeah.
Yes. So,
yeah, please. It's okay. We are not. I was just kidding. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So compassion, to be compassionate for 24/7, what to do. I would say sometimes we be compassionate in the situation, in some situation we are not. So that question always arises to me. That's what I thought. Okay, how to be compassionate with situation, people 24/7.
Okay, so I mean, since we have Dr. Ashok Mehta with us, I'll pass on the question to him. It's the question, should I repeat it for you, Dr. Mehta? He is just asking that, is it possible to remain compassionate 24/7? That's the question.
I think that Shanti.
Yes, we can hear you, Doctor. Yeah.
Want to remain for a longer period of time, you must start from a basic level. That means you must start becoming compassionate for a shorter and shorter period and keep on prolonging it till the time you become absolutely compassionate, totally compassionate. I think all of us are at far away stage from that being totally compassionate all the time. But I'm sure that this is what we are in Baba's Gyan only for this particular reason. That's what the karmatit stage. Finally, you won't have any vikarmas, and therefore you'll be compassionate towards everybody. Your compassionate will be uh, ever expanding till the time everything is, you are at peace with everything, and you are compassionate to yourself as well as to others. I think all of us are practicing this, and we are at different stages in our compassionate life. I think it is possible. This is what I have observed, like dadis we observed. They are total compassionate. And because they started right from the childhood and with Baba's presence all the time, physical presence, I think we are missing that physical presence, but at the same time we have, uh, today, like this electronic media, where we can have a sharing from a lot of people and learn from each other. Like every time I come on this program, I'm learning something. And I feel that, this is the only way. You keep on doing it again and again and again till the time you become a part of it. Or values become almost embedded in you at every point of time in life. I think it is possible. Dr. Sai?
Thank you so much. Yeah,
What
a
do you
beautiful
like?
answer. Yeah. So as I can see, I mean, I'm sure Sai has got the answer, but many beautiful responses from the audience itself that they say it's just a habit. Through regular practice, you can become compassionate. Just reiterates what Dr. Mehta also said. And one more answer is knowledge as well as practice. You know, knowledge, all of us have, we are knowledgeable in our way that we should be compassionate. But the more we put it into practice, it will help us. And a beautiful one more thing she's mentioned is, moreover, trust in God and his powers makes us powerful 24/7. So we again, the answer is that if you're connected to God, which is difficult 24/7, but it's a process, it's a journey. If you keep doing it, it really will make you 24/7 compassionate. And someone is saying that practice this, that I am peaceful soul and take peaceful energy from Shiv Baba always. So that I am sure it answers your question. So now I'll just sum up everything. I'll just share my screen again.
I can I bring it up?
Yeah.
Remember the tree. Sorry, it is the wrong one. I wrote it down. This you all said it. So it's such beautiful energy that tree shows to us, and there is nothing negative, and that is how we learn from the nature, and we all shared it. I was writing. I was so moved to write it down. So beautifully we expressed, right? So compassion is possible, right? Definitely. This is compassion. Look at the tree and we can be compassionate. Just give coolness, life, tolerance, everything. So I thought of showing this. Thank you.
So thank you, Anu sister. And if you still are not satisfied with compassion, don't worry. We are having part 4 as well. This is one of those modules where we have a lot of exercises. So we'll be doing that in part 4 the next time. So let me just take you to the session review, what we did today morning. We started with the visualization and meditation on tree, all the beautiful qualities of the tree and how we should be standing like a tree. We went into the depths. Praful Bhai got us into what are the mistakes we do, and very importantly, 2 things: the feelings associated with those mistakes, and what are the alternative ways which we could now think of so that we avoid that mistake in future again. Then Anu's sister took into a meditative mode with forgiveness, which is self-compassion, as I told you. And after forgiveness, we walked into happiness, because once you forgive yourself, you're compassionate towards self, then only you can move into happiness, because otherwise that guilt conscious keeps hurting you all the time. And lastly, we went into protection, as Praful Bhai said, canopy. It's a beautiful canopy of God's energy. So there you are. We finished the activity here, all this exercises this time. And the next time we will be doing part 4, where we'll be practicing another beautiful 2 or 3 exercises. Probably we can cover something about peace module as well, because we have left out one activity over there. So we'll be meeting for that next time. And over to Praful Bhai for the further proceeding. Thank you.
I think Ashwini has something to show. He has created, drawn. Can you see that?
Spotlight. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we can spotlight him. I'm just doing it. Yeah. So
Om Shanti.
yeah, Om Shanti. You can just Ashwini, you can just read out what you want to share. Yeah.
Yeah. रूह गुलाब जैसे मीटिंग में डिवाइड किया गया था, तो उसमें मैंने ये मेरी कितनी परिस्थितियों के अकॉर्डिंग कैसे सर्कमस्टांसेस में मैं कैसे फेस करता हूँ उसको मैंने यहाँ पिक्चराइज किया है. जैसे स्माइल रूह गुलाब एंड किसी परिस्थिति में मन को शांत रखना, स्थिर रखना बहुत जरूरी होता है, और सकारात्मक चिंतन क्रिएट करना और अपनी गलती को स्वीकार करना और उसको स्वीकार करके फिर आगे बढ़ना कि ये जो हो गया सो हो गया. और गीता में भी है कि जो हो गया, जो हो रहा है, जो होगा सब अच्छा ही होगा. ड्रामा बाबा का ड्रामा कल्याणकारी है, तो नथिंग न्यू. तो इस तरह से किया था. थैंक यू.
Very good. बहुत अच्छा. रूहे गुलाब लिखा है आपने टाइटल. तो if I want to translate in Anu sister can help maybe soul as a rose. It can like the khushbu, which is the fragrance of all the qualities and virtues we have. So that is what is Ruhe Gulab, which Baba very nicely says that, and we can say a rose as a soul as a rose. Okay, or rose full
That's
soul.
beautiful. We want that picture. It's very neatly done, and during the exercise you have done is amazing talent. It's good. You should share with all. So maybe you can take a picture and send it, brother, to the email. Can you do that, Ashwini, brother?
Can you introduce Ashwini Kumar a little more?
Ashwini, you can please introduce. आप हिंदी में ही बोलो, no problem.
मैं अश्विनी कुमार हूँ और गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में वार्ड असिस्टेंट के पद पर हूँ. तो बनारस से हूँ एक्चुअली.
ये आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आपका प्रोफेशन क्या है? आपका बैकग्राउंड क्या है?
एक्चुअली मैं गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में वार्ड असिस्टेंट के पद पर हूँ एज एसीयू डिपार्टमेंट, मेडिसिन एसीयू डिपार्टमेंट में.
मैंने आप मेल नर्स हैं?
नहीं, एज ए वार्ड असिस्टेंट के स्ट्रेचर बेरर.
अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा. थैंक यू. आप आर्टिस्ट भी हैं? आप ड्राइंग अच्छा करते हैं?
जी, प्रैक्टिस है, बाबा का सब दिया है.
Yeah, very nice. Please send a picture. Okay, brother?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
गिफ्ट दी है, टैलेंट दी है, तो बहुत अच्छा उपयोग करते हैं. बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन. ओम शांति.
Yeah, Om Shanti. Thank you, Dr. Manoj, and thank you, Dr. Ashok Mehta, Sister Anu, and all of you all for tuning in today. I know that we are above time, but just the last step to take a group photo. So may I request everybody to quickly switch on their camera. And as you all are switching, I will quickly share the next slide, which I'll see on the screen. The next session we have is on 31st of October, as Dr. Manoj mentioned, and we'll be covering the leftover exercise of this module. Again, we have the YouTube playlist created, omshanti.tk/vihasa playlist. So this playlist has all the sessions which we have covered in the past. Also, today's session we'll be uploading by today evening. So if you all want to refer it at any point of time, you all can refer. And again, you all can welcome your friends and relatives or your colleagues to join the session. You can register on jagdambabhavan.org/event/vihasa, or choose to drop us an email or WhatsApp us in case if you have any suggestions, any feedback, or any ideas for the future sessions. We have a couple of modules pending, so we'll be keeping on these sessions also next month, every Saturday, 9 a.m. So thanks all. So now it's the time for group photo. I believe everybody has switched on their camera. And on the count of 5, I'll click the photo. Today it will take me a little time because I'm on a MacBook. I'm not sure how to take a screenshot from here, but I'll try. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, thank you. I think I captured the picture. So thanks all for joining. Let's sit in silence for 30 seconds. Just reflect on whatever we learned today And I would request you all to take any one takeaway from today's session, whatever you feel like. I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm in an open zone, so I can't avoid this sound. But just reflect for some time in whatever we learned today. Okay, thank you so much for joining in. So let's meet next Saturday. We'll be meeting on the same Zoom ID and password. No need to re-register. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. And happy Dasera to all of you all. Enjoy the
Happy
Dasara festive
Dussehra.
with all your friends, family, and have a great time, great festive season ahead. Om Shanti. Good day.
Shanti, goodbye.
Bye.